This is the world of company secretaries. On this channel, you can watch interviews with company secretaries across the world. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Sir, next I wanted to ask you about your engagements with respect to giving different talks and writing books, because not many people do that. In fact, I met you when being one of the audience in Companies Act 2013 when it came. Uh, Not only you just told about the Companies Act, but you made it so interesting with full of comedy and made everyone understand. So how did you get interest in this? How do you manage your entire speech and speaking assignments and books? Because writing a book is quite a challenge and you've written quite a few books. So can you tell about these two things?
Yeah, I've written almost 10 books, law books, Companies Act, guide to Companies Act, about three versions, and guide to NCLT, and guide to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, guide to private company. See, actually speaking, if you see the lecture side, I have to really thank my local SARC institute. Okay, because as I was keep referring that I'm so enthusiastic in subject. So I was literally, when I was after membership, I keep going to the institute for one or other way. I keep going. That time the director was asking me that Dhanapal, why don't you take a oral coaching class and stop it? Then I said, will I get the Companies Act? No, no, Companies Act somebody already people are taking, because I told you, no, that's very close to my heart, Companies at that time. If you ask me entire section, I'll tell 1 to 658 and 658 to 1 reverse also. That level I was literally liking, and
The 1956 Act. Yeah.
yeah, 1956 Act. Today it's very difficult, because it is like a Bible, it's coming. So it is very difficult. In fact, today if someone able to locate the provision itself, they are genius only.
Great. Correct.
We can't today reverse and undo. The forward reverse today is not possible, because there's for every section there's every rule. Okay, there's for every rule there every set of forms are there. So very difficult. So of course, today government felt probably after seeing so many issues happening in the corporate side, they felt it okay. They wanted to make it very explicit,
Yes.
because 1956 only there was 658 section, not much. So, and there's no rule also to verify anything. Any clarification, we always go to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Only person who has handled only can answer it
Correct.
to the situation. Today it is not so. Really, MCA has made it very transparent and very speaking. Anything you want, you can find it in the rule. If it is not their rule, they'll bring a rule. Don't please wait for some time. They'll bring a rule on that.
Yeah,
If it
like
is
a
already not
recent
there.
CSR amendments like that.
Yeah, anything for this matter, I'm saying. You can say, you tell me whether you can find it in the rule today. If you are going to say, no, sir, today I couldn't find answer in the rule, then wait, it will come shortly. Okay. So that level is keep coming. One way it is good that everything is coming out in the paper, so that anybody can go and understand. Not like earlier, only the senior people who are in the practice only can really advise out of their
Yeah,
experience.
correct,
It's not
correct.
like that. So anybody can get into that. That's why many side people are coming for practice also. So what I was trying to say here, see, when you asked me that uh, uh, about this entire book writing and the lectures, when I was called for giving a lecture, I was asking Companies Act. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that time. Then they said, no, no, can you please handle? I know, Dhanpal, you are capable of handling this subject, because others difficult. You are also a lawyer, means, and you have a fair idea about legal side also, because they have a good idea about me. So you can do it. What are the topic? Stamp Act, Society Registration Act, and the Trust Act, and one more act. I couldn't remember that time. So these four act, which generally people don't take interest to handle it, because very difficult to handle it. Stamp Act, very dry subject, and Trust Act is very dry subject. And even now, the act is not, means we can't get a real idea about trust related laws. I'm saying even though there is no clarity on trust related laws, okay, and Society Registration Act. So, but as a challenge, since I got a first opportunity, as a matter of challenge, I said, okay, I'll take. So I took that. I was doing for a few batches. That really gained that improved my confidence. Okay, that I can really deliver for some time and also communicate, and I also make a person people to understand. So from there, the whole exercise started. Then the very many institutes started calling me for lectures. Then after many chambers and almost many places in Tamil Nadu and out of Tamil Nadu also many places, I started giving lecture more particularly on Companies Act and FEMA and other related laws, whatever that. With respect to book, if you ask me that I started writing the book only one premise when the LLP Act came in 2009. You remember
Yes.
2009 LLP Act came. So as you said, any law comes relating to us, I always want to gain knowledge of it. That attitude still continued. That's why insolvency law comes. Almost I made it. It's next to my Companies Act.
Hmm.
Because I wanted to know what it is and want to gain experience out of it and want to learn what the subject out of it. Same way the history value or course come. Okay, it's something related to us. Okay, let us gain knowledge out of it. So like that, when LLP Act 2009, when the Act came, I was literally trying to jot out the notes and tables for me to easy to understand. Actually, the whole practice started for this only. In LLP Act, I don't know whether you know that time, many people were, even professionals I'm saying, many professionals were literally feeling that LLP Act was so tough to understand.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was so tough to understand. Today, of course, now settled, things are settled, and every professional has got a fair idea today. Everyone could understand because now practically things are also happening. But the time in 2009 Act came, LLP Act, people are so much confused, and some new concept has come. What it is? So literally, I was also thinking that oh, some new concept has come, and let us try to understand. So I started writing write-ups kind of thing. So for that, I want to see that I am bringing out a table for that. So I want to make it very simple. My idea itself, if you can see any of my write-ups also, I always try to, I never enlarge or I never explain too much on something. No, I never try to do that. Whatever the law says, I always tried or attempted how to, it can be given in a simple terminology so that everyone can understand. Why that simple terminology? That way only I can understand because I can't say something which the way I'm not understanding. Correct? So I don't want to project something more than what I am. Okay. So I always wanted to project what I am and I wanted to project the same to others also. So the whole exercise started just to understand the law. The LLP Act, I wanted to understand what to do. Okay, let me put a chart, let me put a notes, let me see. Then after a fine time, I'm seeing a good amount of papers and inputs I've got. Then people suggested me. Okay, then I was keep writing article also, started writing that time. So people suggested me, why don't you come out with a small notes and book? Then I came out with the first book for LLP. The book name itself, with a lot of courage, I put LLP made easy.
Hmm.
Those days, I don't know anybody used that made easy. Today, many people started using made easy. All
Correct.
that, but
Because that time the book used to be called other books like handbook on LLP, compendium
exactly,
like that.
exactly.
That was the usual names, I
Yeah, it's a
remember.
very thin book. I don't have a copy of it right now. Other books
Hmm.
copy I'm keeping here. So very thin book, about 100 150 page book. I named it as my first book, named it LLP Made Easy. So you see, so courage. I put it the heading LLP Made Easy, and I gave it for printing like a notes only. The thing when I circulate, means when people when they are seeing this notes, I can't say notes. It's like a small book. When they
Yes.
were seeing, they were sending the entire book is chart only. They were saying, my God, the entire LLP Act you brought into the chart format. I said, no, that's how I understood the LLP Act. Because LLP Act, how I wanted to understand, I brought out a chart. So I thought the same thing I brought in the my write-ups, and same thing I brought in the book. So that continued. Then the same interest came in the Companies Act. Then I came out with the book for Companies Act. Then Insolvency Act came. Then came out with the book for Insolvency Act for guide. Then NCLT got constituted and introduced. Then came out with the separate guide to NCLT and NCLAT. And because I told you, whatever comes, related to our area, I'm saying, I always wanted to get grip of it, what it is. Let us understand what it is. We should not ask somebody else to what it is. We should not ask anybody else that what that topic or what that law deals with. We should be in a position as a company secretary. We should not see. We cannot give advice on how to operate the radar, how to do
Correct.
a surgery. That we cannot do. But how the insolvency could be handled for a corporate, how evaluation could be handled for the corporate, or how the complaints could be handled for the corporate, that we should be doing it. If we are not doing, who else can do that? Who else can be the competent then, as in terms of complaints, I'm saying. So I always take interest. Any subject comes, not that I have to come out with a book. No, it's not the idea. Idea is that let me understand. So same way the insolvency bankruptcy code, I dissected everything in a table format. If you come across my book also, you can see the book starts with tables only.
Hmm.
The entire insolvency bankruptcy code, the entire code would have been covered in table format itself. Some few pages, I'm saying 20, 30, 40 pages. After that only the books start, then the matter will come, theoretical side will come. So that when somebody sees that, immediately they can appreciate or understand, oh, okay, this is a starting and this is the ending. Oh, the process is like this. Somebody want to understand, then they can go and read the rest of the thing. See, it's not that others to understand. This is how I understood the law. For me to understand, I put it that way. So it really made me to understand. I wanted to give to others. So that only improved. And many people encouraged me that, okay, your books are so simple. Why don't you keep writing? Then I started writing, fortunately, with God grace, some 8, 9 books, law books over I have authored. So I think due to Corona, this thing last 1 or 2 years only, I didn't take up any such exercise. Probably I have to
Okay.
soon start next editions for all the books.